What do you got, Houston? What do you mean, what do? You got a fish.
Do I reel it in or what?
Well, what's up, guys? It's Daniel and Houston from Arms Family Homestead, and we're back at the creek. It's that time of year, just have to come to the creek.
Yeah.
And today's video is going to be done at the creek because this guy has a birthday coming up in just a couple days. And he got a package in the mail, and I wouldn't let him open it for about the last, 4 days?
Yeah.
He got an early birthday present from our good friend
Ed Kirkpatrick.
What do you say?
Thank you.
We have no, well, I'm not going to say that. Houston has no idea. Here, hold that box. Has no idea what's in there. I have a fairly good idea. Ed sent me a little, idea of what he was getting Houston for his birthday. Something that we've never done. I'll give you a clue. It's something we've never done here. It involves the creek, but it's something we've never done.
What?
You have any guesses?
No, it can't be like a little boat or something.
No, he already sent you a remote control boat one year.
Yeah, he did. I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Well, then let's open it and find out.
Okay. Thing like slides to one side and then goes down.
No guesses, huh?
I really have no idea. Because I thought about it being a gun before he said something about having to do with the creek. There's no way that can be possible because this only weighs 6 pounds. And, oh.
Don't fall down.
And it's too light to be a fishing pole.
Too light to be a fishing pole. Okay. It'd be a really short fishing pole, wouldn't it?
Yeah, unless it was like a 2-piece. Oh.
All right, man. I'm ready to see what's in there. Oh my goodness. You can't tear past the paper tape. You're probably like one of those little old ladies that opens their Christmas presents really carefully so they can save the wrapping paper and reuse it, huh? You fold up the wrapping paper when you're done, put it in a box for next year. Oh my goodness.
I got it. It's another box.
Another box. A box in a box.
Oh, I know what it is now.
You do?
Yeah.
What is it?
Fly fishing rod.
Fly fishing rod. I think it's a whole kit. Because, I hope it's a whole kit with everything we need because I've never owned any fly fishing gear. I've never fly fished. So you're going to have to teach me how. So let's hope this has like lures and everything. Flies. You got to say the right word.
Teeny tiny bobbers.
Oh, well, that's probably a good place to start. Oh, looky here. We've got some flies.
Holy moly.
They are tiny, aren't they?
That's the smallest ones I've ever seen before.
Well, good news. We have the perfect creek to catch teeny tiny fish with teeny tiny flies.
How do you open them?
Look, they're forceps. Look, when you hold them, they lock in place. You gotta unlock them, see?
Oh.
But that's not what we're here for. That's just extra. Let's see if we can get into this thing. Oh, good. The line's already, or the reel's already spooled with line. So we don't have to worry about that. I'm telling you, I think it's a whole kit. Everything you need, I think. Do you have to hold your mouth just right when you're doing that? Because you were making some funny faces.
Where do I go?
You got to line up the loops, the eyes on there.
They are. Do I go like with this up or this down?
Well, I don't know, man. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
You're asking me questions. I've never owned a fly rod.
Oh, maybe there's dots on it for a reason.
Oh, there you go. I bet you those dots have a very specific purpose, just like you said.
Okay, maybe.
Good observation.
Maybe this is a fishing pole.
Well, I don't know the first thing about which fly to try. Look. Look at all this one. All right, Houston and I are rigged up, tied on. We have our first ever attempt at Houston throwing a fly rod. Now, I'm not one to give lessons. I kind of showed him what I know, what little bit I know. And we're going to work slow, and I really don't know how to teach this, but we're going to figure it out together. All right, first cast. You think you can get her out there a little ways? You gotta learn the, hey, look, you're whipping it. Hey, don't go straight overhead. You kind of off to the side a little bit. There you go.
Floating.
Yeah, it's all right. Some flies float and some will sink. We may have to, change up the fly. And as you, hey, let me come behind you. Oh, good cast. As you slow your cast down a little bit, try not to go so fast. But as you get better, you can pull a little bit more line out and a little bit more line out. Woo, look at that. That got me. Easy. Don't whip it. Just, there you go. So what I'm seeing sometimes, Houston, when you try to whip it too hard, that fly goes out there and then it ricochets back at you, right? Which shortens your cast. When cameraman Ron was down here camping on the creek a couple months ago, he tried fly fishing, and the only thing Ron could hook was the grass behind him, the trees behind him, the dogs, everything but a fish. And I really kind of feel like your casting is looking better than his did that day. Not that he's a fly fisherman. I mean, I'm not saying you're out doing a fly fisherman, but you're doing pretty darn good for your first time. I say we move up there towards the swimming hole where we know a lot of fish hang out all the time, a lot of bluegill and stuff. Nope, don't whip it so hard. Hey, your fly hit you in the back of the head. I saw it, like it come back because you tried to whip it too hard. You gotta think about it. You gotta back cast. That fly's gotta come back and then go forward, okay? There you go. Nice and smooth. We'll go try up by the swimming hole. This little fly is floating and they're not taking it, so we'll try up there a couple times and then we probably switch it out to a different fly, okay? Grab your line so you don't lose it. Don't get it hung up on a stick or something. Easy. Don't whip it so hard. Pull you some more line out. You gotta, easy, not too much. You gotta work that line out as your cast gets longer, okay? There you go. That was all right. Well, you tell me. It went under.
I don't have a fish.
You had a bite.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good cast right there. You got like full extension on your line and everything that time. Easy. Don't try to whip it too hard, okay? It's got to be smooth. Now I'm trying to teach you something I don't really know anything about, Houston. So I'm just telling you what I'm observing as we go along. Can you unwrap that? But I have noticed when you try to whip it too much is when you don't cast it as well. It's got to be smooth.
Which way is it? Oh,
now we got to get that moss off your fly too.
yeah. Oh.
Get the moss off. Okay. Now your line's all in the current over there, so don't pull it out of the reel. Don't pull it out of the reel. You're pulling line out. Okay. If you start off with too much line pulled out of the reel, it's going to make that harder cast. You got to learn to pull your line in from the water, not out from your reel. Uh-oh. That's all right. We'll flip it off the end of the pole. Got to start with an easy short cast and then work it out, okay? You got it. Oh! You whipped your line. You popped it like a whip. Easy. You're going to pop your line. You'll pop your fly off there doing that. So smooth back, smooth forward. Hey, don't like come back and whip. Smooth back, smooth forward. That's all right. You're learning. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What do you got, Houston? What do you mean, what do you do? You got a fish.
Do I reel it in or what?
Hey, pull the line in with your hand and hold it with your other hand. Hold it. Hey, pull the line in. Hold it under your finger. You don't have to reel it. There you go. Just like that. Yeah. Pull him in a little at a time. You pull with one hand and you pinch it with the other, okay? That's good. Let's see what you got. First fish ever.
It's a red ear. Is it? Oh, that's a red ear. It's a red ear.
Based out, based out, based out. All right, Houston's first fish ever on a fly rod. Look at that, buddy. I'm proud of you, man.
Thanks.
That is pretty stinking cool. Not that we have a clue what we're doing. No clue, but it's something different for sure. What do you think?
I think it's kind of cool, actually.
Well, you're way better at than I expected, and casting that is getting easy for you really fast. I was afraid we'd be hung in that tree, that bridge, the buggy, that tree. So far, I think you've hooked more fish than trees.
Yeah, I've gotten on one piece of grass.
Well, you're fixing to find out what those forceps, those little pliers, fixing to find out what those were for. So
yeah,
set your fly rod down.
You're probably choking it right now.
Set your fly rod down. Don't step on it. Okay? You hold your fish. So those flies are so small and such a tiny little hook. That little set of forceps right there makes it so that you can even get the hook out of their mouth.
There we go.
Because it is tiny.
Oh, hang on. Let me grab it.
Yep.
Okay, let
Teeny
it go.
tiny little fly. Yeah, we'll let him go.
Oh, that's the wrong way, buddy.
Yep, wrong way, buddy. There you go.
There you go.
All right, man, give me knuckles. Probably the first of many fish on a fly rod, huh?
Yeah.
You gonna let me try?
Sure.
All right.
Let me put it in my tackle box.
Yeah, you got a little fanny pack with all your gear, huh?
Yep. Got my fanny pack.
All right.
There you go.
All right. I have no clue what I'm doing. They say that the easiest way to learn something is to teach it. I had a fish, Houston.
You did?
Yeah. They say the easiest way to learn how to do something is to teach it. And I taught Houston to catch a fish on a fly rod. Somehow. Oh, I had one and jerked it out of his mouth.
Or when we were trout fishing, I saw some people using them. Yeah,
a lot of trout fishermen do use fly rods. They're the ones that are way way more fancy than us. Used to be. Not anymore, huh?
No.
I think our reel's on backwards. So we got a reel. Put it on the wrong side. I'm left-handed. I messed you up. We got to spin your reel around. I think. Huh. I do think we need to change out flies, though. Put on one that sinks a little bit. Did I really?
Yeah, you did.
All right, so we're gonna change up our game plan just a little bit. Houston wants to change out flies to something that'll sink, something that's a little different. But look at the size of this one. It looks huge. Now it's definitely gonna sink. It's more like a jig that we would use on, you know, one of our regular fishing rods. So it's gonna be a lot heavier. Not a teeny tiny little fly. But we're gonna give Houston the rod back. I got 2 bites, and I managed to hit the camera twice with the fly and stop the recording once. So we are rigged up with a much larger fly.
Whoa, don't stop there.
Much larger fly. We'll try it out, Houston. See what you can do.
Okay.
All right. Whoa. Now this one's gonna fly totally different, Houston. You're gonna have to get used to the way that jig flies because it's a lot heavier. Did it fly different? Are you all right?
It got me.
It got you?
Ow!
Let me give it a test try and see if I can figure it out, and then I'll teach you, okay?
Okay. Definitely not the friendliest kind of pole. Got that on camera, didn't you?
Yep. You said it jumped up and bit him.
No, look, right there on my thumb.
Totally different. That little bit of different weight in that jig or fly, man, makes a huge difference. Much harder to cast, and I see why Houston's struggling. I'm sure there's probably a lot of you guys out there that are fly fishermen that are yelling at us for everything we're doing wrong, and there's probably like 9,000 comments on, I think the reel's on backwards, because, you know, a lot of things. This jig, we may have to switch back to a smaller jig. A smaller fly. Quit correcting me. It's a fly, I know. Uh-oh. I may have a fish on there by accident, Houston.
What?
Oh no, I'm hung up.
That actually hurt really bad. Did that snap?
No. It's hard to fish. Oh no, it did snap. No!
Dang
The
it.
rod is... Ed, I'm sorry. It's not the first fishing pole you bought for Houston that I broke.
I'm not crying about it.
Well, I didn't think that the rod had snapped, Houston. I thought it just came apart because it's a 4-piece rod and it comes apart right here. So I thought it just came apart. And Houston was right. It did snap. And I didn't hook a fish there. I didn't pull on it too hard.
At this point, are you trying to intentionally snap my rods?
No. But there was a video several years ago that Ed Kirkpatrick had bought Houston a rod that was like an extendable. You remember that? Yeah. Like a little short fishing pole, and it extended out.
It was red.
Yep. And I think that video probably has, I don't know,
a
couple million views now, something like that.
We need to start making more faces of me crying.
Well, I'm about to cry. I mean, it's brand new. We were just learning how to use it today.
Yeah.
If you like this video, comment down below, smash the like button, and ring the notification bell, and we'll see if we catch any fish. Okay?
Sometimes things just don't go as planned. Had a small, slight mishap, at least To me, it's a slight mishap. For somebody else, it's not real slight. Why are you crying, buddy?
You broke my fishing pole. My new fishing pole.
I did. It was a total accident. So let me tell you the story. Put the jig off and put it back in the little tackle box.
What?
Come on now. You can cut the line. I got faith in you. Yep. Put that in your little tackle box, and then we'll take the rod apart, and I don't know, maybe we can send it back, but it shouldn't have broke the way it did. No, I'm drinking water.
Hey guys, there's no water right there. There's no water right there. There's water right here, though. It's cool.
Well, that's really disappointing, but Houston did get to catch his first ever fish on a fly rod. And what little bit of time we did have down here learning fly fishing together was a lot of fun. And I foresee us doing more of that in the future, especially down here at the creek. Catching those little tiny bluegill. You know, we're not trout fishermen. We're not headed to the big rivers in Colorado and all the places that trout fishermen go yet. But maybe someday. Who knows? Maybe someday we'll catch a 8-pound trout on a fly rod.
That would be mounted if we did.
We're definitely not doing it on that rod. I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me, did I do something wrong? The fly did get hung up on a rock, and I was kind of just barely pulling on it. The fly rod's got that leader line on there's maybe 2-pound test. It's very light leader line. That rod shouldn't have snapped where it did. I'm going to review that footage and see if you can see anything at all. And I'll call Ed and see if Ed wants to return it, or I don't think the rod should have broken the way it did. The last one, you know, years ago that I snapped of Houston's, it was hung up in a tree and I was yanking on it pretty good and I snapped it. That was my fault. This one
was your fault.
I mean, it was still my fault. I had it in my hand, so there's no denying that, but I don't think it should have broken that easily. So
it's okay.
We'll see what Ed wants to do.
It's okay.
I bet you we can get a replacement for it. Anyways, happy early birthday, Houston.
Thank you, Ed.
And I don't know. We'll try again some other day.
You got a streak going on or something here.
I got a streak of bad luck, you know?
Yeah.
You know, after you tossing our stringer in the other day, and now I'm breaking your rods, and it's like every fishing video lately is a failure for us.
Yeah.
But it's not a failure because it's still fun. I'm having a blast no matter what.
I still caught one.
You caught one. You're one up on me. Career in our lifetimes, you're ahead of me on fly fishing. You caught more fish than me on a fly rod.
Yep. So guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And as always, we'll see you on the next video. Peace.